guys, so I'm assuming I've done some kind of intro. I've already done my brows. I don't know what I've done to them, but I've done something to them. And then I did my eyes. This is probably going to be like a really chatty video, so I didn't want to do like a full video. Each eye will take like forever for me. So anyways, I'm going to start off by prepping my skin though. My skin is, it's hanging out, you know, it's out there, but I'm going to get it back. So this is the first thing that I'm going to be using and mentioning because they have sponsored this video. This is the V-Code eye cream. It comes in this little leather satchel, which I really like. I'm going to use this for my Q-tips because it's like the perfect height. Here is the eye cream itself, and this is what it looks like on the inside. As you can see, I've definitely used a lot of it. It also comes with this little crescent, so you can use this to apply it. So I'm just going to get some on my little crescent. Literally, that's all I'm going to use. I like that it comes with this because even the pressure from your middle finger will break some of your blood vessels in your under eyes because they're just so sensitive. And that will lead to more darkness. So I've probably had this for about 4 weeks and I still have a lot left. It is a very expensive tube, but I think that helps actually because it's so expensive. You use just what you need instead of like lathering it on and putting it everywhere. Even though I did just watch Nikki Tutorial's video with Sir John and he said that he uses eye cream for the whole face. My sister has also tested that. I'll get into more of that later, but we were all in like a very emotional environment and their little eyes were so puffy, and so every day I would be like, okay, well, here's some eye cream and here's some caffeine solution for the puffiness, and I think it helped them as well as it helped me. Definitely took away a lot of my darkness, and the skin underneath of my eyes was just looked awful from like constant wiping and constantly puffing up, and it's definitely helped them out. And I also feel like it's helped decrease the creases on my under eye, like the fine lines. I've noticed that my final product, after I've applied concealer, which can definitely get cakey quickly, has definitely gotten less creasy, which for me is kind of a craziness because I have the creasiest under eyes. Thank you so much to V-Code for sending that over. I really do like it. I have been using this avocado cream for my entire face, including my under eyes, and I've definitely noticed a difference of setting it apart from the rest of my skincare. And I'm just going to use that avocado cream all over my face. I absolutely love it. I'm going to get off camera now and let all of that soak in, and I'll just be drinking my coffee. Please ignore my rotten ass teeth because I will brush them towards the end. Alright, so now that that is all soaked in, I'm going to be using my Gorgeous Cosmetics First Base Primer. I absolutely love this stuff. It's definitely one of my favorites. I just use one pump, and this stuff gets really thick. I mean, not too thick. It definitely blends out super easily, but just thick enough to where I know it's helping my foundation adhere and last and pore filling at the same time. So I think I'm nervous talking. I'm actually really nervous for this video. Typically my get ready with me videos aren't so much about the makeup itself. It's been a long time since I've done a tutorial. If you guys wanted me to do like a super detailed tutorial on my face routine, I could definitely do that. It's one of the prides of my makeup is my face routine. For foundation, I'm going to be mixing this Neutrogena Healthy Skin Foundation. This is in the shade 30, which is way too dark for me. So I'm mixing it with this foundation, and Taylor keeps making fun of me for how I say it, so I'm not saying it. It's this one right here. Oh, thank God I caught that with my palm, because that wouldn't come out of this black shirt. Alright, I'm just going to put this dark. It's so dark. It's like darker than my skin right now. I feel like all of my videos are like ASMR-y as well because I'm always clanging and banging on this mirror table that I got. I'm just gonna put this all through. So, yet again, I'm not uploading like I want to. Can I just tell you guys, this has been the craziest, like the last year has been so rough, and seriously, I don't want to cry because I think that that makes me look so stupid, but it's been a really rough year, and I bet that if you are subscribed to me and you've been subscribed to me for a year, you probably think like, oh my gosh, you are so dramatic, but I swear it's been so rough. So I didn't want to talk about this. I didn't want to talk about any of this in a video. I was just gonna go back to filming, and I tried so many times, and my videos just like, I couldn't upload them or even edit them. They would just get deleted super fast because I just had this like negative, like, I don't know. I'm gonna zoom in a little. I just had this like, I don't know, I don't want to say sad, but I feel like you guys wouldn't enjoy watching it. I feel like it would just put you in a mood. If you weren't in a mood, you would just like share my angst for the world. So I figured I might as well like clear the air and talk about it, and maybe it will help me, and maybe it will help you. I don't know. Okay. But I didn't want you guys to just watch me and think like, normally I'm a super bubbly, happy person. Just, you know, sometimes it's not always easy to be happy. Sometimes life gives you some things that you gotta figure out how to deal with, and this is just one of those times for me. And well, not for me, there's definitely other people involved in this. So I have talked on this channel before about my dad being sick. I never said what it was because, you know, it's not me, and he probably hated that I had a channel and thought it was the stupidest thing ever, so I just didn't want to, like, you know what I mean, talk about it too much. But it was like kind of nice to talk about it, and it affected such a big part of my life. My dad had leukemia for 18 months, and you know, it was really shitty for a long time. And there was like a two-month period where I wasn't able to film because I was working 2 jobs and going to his going to his chemo with him and his doctor's appointments with him, because my stepmom was the only one working for the both of them and had to work. Things were really good after that. He actually went into remission once, and he was in remission not for very long, but it was, I believe it was a month or 2. And then we found out that it was back, and that was pretty heartbreaking, just because we saw how good he was doing. But even for a while after that, he was really, really good. He had gained all his weight back, and he grew his hair back, and he was, you know, said he felt better than ever. But he always said that no matter what he was going through, he always said he felt great. So that's, you know, no indication. My dad was the strongest person in the whole world. And whenever he wasn't feeling good, whenever he had gone through some crazy, you know, bone marrow biopsies, which were like crazy painful, you know, he would get them all the time, and I never heard him complain. And it wasn't until I was like trying to do research on my own, and I wanted to find like a blog of someone who was going through the same thing as him, that I was reading just how painful everyone said that the biopsies were, and I was just like, you know, he's had so many of them, I've never heard anything from him. And you know, his doctors that he had had the entire 18 months, you know, came in to the room and said, you know, they'll never forget him because no matter what he is going through. How are you feeling, Mr. Peterson? And he would say, great. So, unfortunately, my dad got a pretty severe infection after it was back into his blood. After he got it again, then everything was fine because it was such a low percentage and it wasn't in his bloodstream, and then it went in his bloodstream, and then it was a very serious thing. And he decided he wanted to go on a more strong chemo, about mid-strength, not as strong as the initial 7-day chemo that he took when he first was diagnosed, but he was on Vidasa for about, I would say 10 months, and just wasn't fighting his, he had stage 4, so it's difficult to treat at that point. He was on that strong chemo, and he went to get chemo one day, and the chemo center actually sent him over to the hospital. He didn't have enough white blood cells to do it, and he wasn't feeling good, and you know, these people had dealt with him for months and months and months, so they knew to send him over, and I'm glad they did. First they thought he had pneumonia, but it turned out to be a pretty rare lung infection called mucor, and you know, it's bad shit. And unfortunately my dad passed away on April 3rd, and I hope you guys never ever have to go through anything like that, but you know, me and my family, we, you know, we're very strong, and we are making it through, but every day it gets a little harder because, you know, you realize, you know, you can't talk to him. And for me, I just want to argue with him, you know, I just want him to call me, yell at me for something stupid that I said or did, you know. Me and my dad were very alike, attitude-wise, so our arguments were pretty, I'll never have another person to argue with the same way that I could argue with him. I just miss him, and I just mostly feel terrible that he had to go through so much in his short life. My dad was only 52, so, well, actually he was 51, he turned 52 in July. Alright, I'm doing my concealer so I can no longer cry. Sorry if this is a little heavy. But like I said, I really didn't want to do this, and I hate the people who like put, you know, my dad died as their like video title. I'm not gonna do that. And I'm really sorry to cry. I know it makes me look like dumb. I couldn't think of a way to just come back all perky and happy. You know what I mean? I tried, trust me, I tried. I've filmed so many videos that I've just had to dump, because I wanted to, you know, be back to my old self. And you know, I'm not like this all the time. When I'm at work, I bounce right back. I try to not sit here and like think about anything, you know. Anyways, maybe this helped a little. Anyways, aside from that, while my dad was in the hospital, at one point they had given us a number of hours. They said, you know, he has about 48 hours. And so we said, okay, you know, we all made our plans, and I was gonna go pick up my grandma, who lives about 6 hours away from where the hospital was. And I hadn't gotten any sleep, and I was very emotional, obviously. And I totaled my car. I mean, I was okay, and everything was all good except for my poor little Ford Fiesta. Love that car. Rest in peace, car. But yeah, so that was extra stressful. And my sister is actually, she works at a dealership, and she was able to get us a crazy, crazy good deal on a really cute little 2016 Hyundai Accent. It's so adorable. We love it to death. So in the last year, I broke my ankle and had to sit home for 3 months. I mean, there's been like a lot of little things that, you know, don't compare, but you know, a lot of shitty things have happened. And then, you know, losing my dad, totaling my car, it's just been a really rough year, and I'm just done. I'm like, pick on somebody else, you know. If I can tell you guys one thing, it's just how important, you know, your parents are. I would not have made it through anything without my family, and you know, I learned a big lesson about how important everyone that's close to me really is. Oops, I threw that. The shitty thing about it is that you also realize, like, who cares and who doesn't. And I have friends that I've been friends with for years that, you know, weren't there for me, and that was really upsetting. But like I said, I'd rather have that realization. I'd rather know who they were than to go on thinking my whole life that they were there for me when they're really not. The good news is I don't think that anything could get worse. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that it could get any worse from here. Makeup wise, it's, you know, it's really funny. So I had been doing my channel for a little while. I got, you know, really no results. If I got like 50 views on a video, I was like, shut the front door. Which is kind of what I'm back to now. My channel's slowly dying. But when I found out that my dad had first got diagnosed is when that video that I did on the Jeffree Star black highlighter is when it exploded, and it was like so bizarre because I couldn't even really feel happy for myself, you know what I mean? Because the, like, you know, the worst thing that I could ever have thought about was happening. So that's weird. And then when I had come back to the hospital that my dad was at was 2 hours away, so I ran out of clothes and had to come back home, and there was a giant CoverGirl box waiting for me, and I was like, again, couldn't even be excited about it. Threw it in the room. I did put like a thing on Snapchat, and, or maybe not Snapchat, I don't know, Instagram, I think, all the same thing. It's just weird how, like, you know, I was going through something shitty and life was like, well, here's this. So makeup wise, I already filmed a lip swatching video on that because those are pretty, you know, quick to film, and I don't have to talk during those. So I filmed a lip swatching video because there was 3 different liquid lips in there, or one was a gloss, but I'm gonna put that up sometime, and then maybe now that we've cleared the air, you know, got the tears out, maybe now I can go back to talking in my videos and not being the most uncomfortable thing ever. This is my absolute favorite color. This is my favorite color blush ever. This is from the Gorgeous Cosmetics 8-pan blush slash highlighter. Sometimes I just use this and don't even bronze. Today is not one of those days. I've been eating my weight in stress food. So, work's been kind of crazy. I've had to like pick up, you know, those early shifts. It's 5 in the morning right now. I've been filming since 3 in the morning. Slowly, well, I've been getting ready to film since 3 in the morning. So I haven't been going to the gym, but I'm going to starting tomorrow. So I'm working my regular mid shifts sort of. I'm gonna fix up my background because I did this thinking I was gonna be able to play with it, and I've not had time to play with it. I think I'm gonna bring some lights back there because this corner of the room is a little dark. Alright, I'm going to fix up my eyebrows, and I might finish my coffee and brush my nasty teeth, and then I will be back. Alright, eyes are finished. Brows, I did what I could, and then I added a little bit of highlight to my brow bone and stuff in my inner corner. I think it helps out a lot. It's amazing how much finishing my eyes does. So I'm going to use this Calabasas color to put some lips on. This color is so dramatic on my pale ass. I love it. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I'm not going to do my hair on camera because this is actually a wig. My roots are insane because I haven't put any time into my appearance in the last like 3 weeks. But anyways, I thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry, I'm really trying to look at this, not this, but this has been messed up lately because my camera hates me. I've been wearing these glittery nails, so there'll be some random moments where it'll just focus on my nails. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This video is definitely really heavy, but like I said, I think that now that I've gotten it like out of the way, maybe now I can continue uploading and not being so kind of like heavy. I don't know what to say, but I don't want anybody to feel bad for me. If you're gonna feel bad for anyone, you know, feel bad for my dad. Something that meant a lot to him was the St. Jude's Foundation. No matter what he was going through, he would talk a lot about how the kids had to do, you know, they had to do that round of chemo that he had to do twice, and he just didn't, you know, he talked a lot about how he just couldn't imagine a kid going through this, and he donated to St. Jude's from his own bank account. And yeah, so if you know, if this video hit you, a donation to St. Jude's in my dad's name would be great. His name is Bud. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.